All right, welcome back to Girls Can't Geek. This is your girl, SD Trinity. I have my host.
Jigglypuff, what up, y'all?
Perfect. As you can see, we have a full house today because we have Trin Talks. Trin Talks today is going to be getting the man and women, male, female, guy, girl, whatever you're claiming out there, whatever set you repping. We're going to get your opinion on this video that I found a couple weeks ago and see what's going to happen. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and introduce everybody here. So first we'll start with Jen.
Hey y'all, I'm Jen, aka Curly Waves.
Perfect. Next.
I am Lord Nameless, aka Lord Nameless.
Awesome. Next.
What's up, this man Shango Simms. You can just call me Simms.
Perfect. And last but not least.
Name's Al Fizz. That's all it is.
Thank you. I did want to say before we even get started, thank you guys for coming because I can't wait. We all have different personalities, and I'm telling you what this video is definitely open up a lot of boxes outside of this. So I definitely want to see what boxes and thoughts and ideas open up here. But before we go, does anybody have any, I don't know how to explain it, but any thoughts or of what we might be talking about where we need a man versus woman type of chat?
Can you tell us a little bit about what Trin Talks is? You know,
Yeah.
What is Trin Talks?
Trin Talks, talks actually popped up while I was streaming on Twitch because, you know, everybody be chatting in my chat and stuff. And so I would just answer questions and we just have hours of just conversations.
So
a lot
live
of it
in your Twitch chat. It's super live.
So, and I love it because I can sit there and I can eat, you know, my seaweed snacks if I want to, and y'all will still just be watching. I'm like, thank you. But when we sit here and we're chatting and you guys are asking like questions like, whoa, my girl did this, or my guy did this, or I'm interested in this, I'm interested in that. I always tell you guys from the jump, I am here to try to give you the best advice I possibly can. I'm trying to save you money and give you the best advice I possibly can give you, okay? I will never say anything to steer you guys wrong. And if it goes wrong, let me know, because I don't want to be out there still giving the same advice. And someone's like, yo, I'm broke. I'm like, oh man, my bad, you know? But that's where Trin Talks came. And I have noticed that outside of Twitch that people have been DMing me like, hey, what about this? What about that? Which actually brought up this video. It was circulating the internet. I saw a few people talk about it, but I didn't see much. But when I saw the comments, I was like, oh, you guys, this video had a lot of people in their feelings, okay? So we're gonna watch the video and then we're gonna discuss it. And we could take turns, you know, guy, girl, whatever it may be, but I just wanna see how you guys perceive it, and then we'll get deeper into it, okay? So let me go ahead and pull this up. And of course, you know, it's on World Star. So, you know, it's a video, okay?
Okay. Let me get myself together.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're going to go ahead. Here's the video. It's 7 minutes long. I want to say we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I think it's very important to watch the whole thing.
And then play it through.
Yeah.
Play it through.
Yeah. Talk about it, okay?
I want to see. I don't want to hear no more.
I honestly want a six-figure guy. Is what I'm realizing.
Did it stop?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. See, and this is back in my day, I didn't have to deal with technology. No.
Wait, y'all come over here. Y'all come over here.
Wait a minute. Before we go, who is she talking to? Who?
You know what?
Is that explained in the video?
Yeah.
think-
So
Okay. I'm just
I
trying to
think
get
his
some
name,
context on what's happening.
I think his name is Kevin, and he's like a talk show advice type of person thing.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I thought that was the dude from Matrix Revolutions who was,
And
you know,
goodbye.
What's ex. We cannot afford to lose 2 ships. I thought that was him.
Slide him out.
I'm done. I'm done with you.
All right.
So I'm trying to, you guys,
And ma'am, and that's
okay,
my
hold
point.
on.
You lady.
Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if it works. And you guys out there and Girls Can't Geek Land or whatever trying to listen to this, I'm sorry in advance. I don't know what's going on. Seems like everybody in the world having internet issues. I'm one of them. So we're just gonna try to.
2020.
It really
It's
is.
That is a yes.
It really is.
Curly Waves. It is
No one
2020.
yelled Jumanji yet.
Nope. 31st. Scream it.
2020. We're getting the bottom of the barrel of stuff right now. So sorry in advance. But I don't know if you guys caught it. She says she wants a 6-figure man.
Whoa.
That's all we got. Okay. So let's see if
Okay.
we can get this.
These all feel like
It does not want to go through. What is going on? And I don't want to have to just talk about it. I want you guys to, I want your reactions to this.
Right.
So let me see.
Would you want to put the link in the chat and I could try to share it?
Yeah, let me try to do that. Hold on one second. We'll
Curly
do
Waves
that.
with the saves.
I know.
Yeah, I try, man.
I got a second sense telling me I know what this is about to be an interesting conversation today.
I mean, she said she wants 6 figures, and that's already you set me on huh?
I mean,
I really want to know where this conversation is going.
it's gonna be great. Like
I thought
I'm
she said
telling you, you
6
guys.
finger.
Like
And I'm
that.
like,
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with an extra set of fingers. You know what I mean?
Oh.
There we go. I put it in. But just that was only 8 seconds, you guys, and you guys are already like, oh.
Right,
Whoa.
8 seconds to 7 minutes. Where are we going with this? And that was the beginning. That was where we started.
The beginning.
He looked like too. He looked like this is the problem with you women.
It's
Yeah.
just, and when I tell you I was watching the first time, because like I said, when I heard about it, I read the comments first. I always read comments before I really go into it, just so I can be like, okay, why are they saying this or that? But these comments were so divided, it made no sense. All right, let's try.
Let me know if you can hear it because I have headphones in, so I could take them out if you can't.
I will know.
I honestly want a 6-figure guy. Is what I'm realizing.
and ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like listen. You ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask you a question?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Why is that so? Okay, go ahead.
Roger, so what?
Go ahead.
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are younger girls. Those younger girls don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit. I'm 51 and I can't beat them off with a stick. That's another one of you lies. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
So can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
Would I rate myself?
Just your face.
My face when I wake up, 5, but when I put myself together, 6.
Okay. And how tall are you?
5'5".
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay. So that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
So average looking women tend not to get high earning men. They tend to get average men.
So,
Did you, I mean, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Breathe and digest. You're 35 years old and you can look around and see the world. You don't tend to see higher earning men with average looking women off rip. If you do see them, they got their average looking woman when they were both really young and he built his way up. But a man earning the kind of money you're talking about does not go for an average looking woman.
I mean, my body is not average. So,
But you're, ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but
Okay, but you're not accepting the fact that, okay, average looking women, average looking woman who's older, average looking older woman with a 13-year-old son, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. This gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men.
Like it's exception to the rule.
You don't qualify for one. And you're making, I mean, I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
sometimes I feel like in order to fully submit, I have to feel like he's in.
Well, then you're gonna die alone. How about that? Let me just cut to the chase, ma'am. You can feel like what you want to, but women like you die alone, straight up, because you think you're better than the men that you qualify for. And the only reason, honestly, ma'am, that I can see a woman like yourself really thinking you deserve more is because you earn more money than most people around you in North Carolina. But if your ass worked at the post office, you would not think so highly of your opportunities. And that's the reality. Men don't care about your money. Not the kind of men that you want. We don't care about your money. It ain't ours. We care about the fact that you are older and you got kids. And you're average. And your reality of your life has showed you that. You don't have the kind of men that you want knocking on your door trying to find you. See, what we've done in this country, this world, is we've told women like yourself that you can have it all, and you got a Prince Charming who's 6 foot, 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, jawline, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, man. No. Most people get average people, especially average people. And you're an average person. I mean, let's be real. You're not running Microsoft. You got a pet grooming business. You've been making 6 figures for the last 3 years. Okay. But if I looked at you and I took all that off of you, all the eyelashes and all the hair, what do you look like under there?
I mean, I look the same. I'm just.
No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
I'm sorry?
No, you don't. You don't look the same because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
So, what is your advice for women that?
All right, I'll tell you my advice, man, because you're not listening to me. This is why I always recommend you need therapy. Because you seem like a sweet woman, but you're not getting it.
You're being so mean.
I'm not being, don't tell me I'm being mean. I'm about to be mean. I get tired of you broads telling me I'm being mean because you cannot handle the goddamn truth. You called my show on a day that you ain't even supposed to be here. And I honored the call and sat here and tried to help you. And I'm telling me I'm being mean. Get the fuck out of my phone. Tired of y'all doing this shit.
Woo! Yeah. Woo!
Wait a minute. I gotta decompress.
Wow.
Lord
Hold
Jesus,
on,
help.
hold on.
Wow. The fuck?
Hold on. I need y'all just to take 30 seconds. Marinate for 30 seconds. Okay. I'm legit, give yourself 30 seconds just to all 7 or 8 minutes of that video, just to really think about what he said and what she said. Because there's a lot of points in that
There's
whole
a
video,
lot.
and there's more, but this is just kind of straight to the chase. Because of course, she, before she was explaining that she has her 13-year-old son, she's got her business, XYZ. We don't need to know about that. We already went through that.
Wow. I took notes. I have lots of things to say.
Perfect.
But we'll get there.
Perfect. The first thing I want to start off with, and this is what I noticed in the comments from a lot of the women, is they're like, oh, he's being rude, he's being mean. Now, for me personally, he just repeated what she's told him. You know what I mean? He asked, rate yourself. She said a 5. So 5 and you want a 10, which I mean, everybody wants a 10, but realistically, you're looking at a 5 and a 10. You're missing 5 points in between there. You know what I mean? And that's the rating she gave herself. It's not like he's like, oh, I rate you a 5 or a 6. She personally was like, I'm a 5. All this taken off, I'm a 5. First thing in the morning with crust in my eye, my breath is kicking, a 5. Okay. Which is what you're going to wake up to every morning. So if you want your 10, he going to roll over. Like he said, perfect jawline, everything, boo, 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 boo. And you got duck butter in your eye because you a 5. You know what I mean? Like, what are you expecting? So when I read comments like that, I was just like, take your personal feelings out of it and really look at what she told him and what he just gave back, which is the exact same thing she said. You know what I mean? But before I go to Jiggly, because you say you took notes.
Oh, I wrote down some things.
I can believe it.
I want to hear from one of the fellas. So who wants to just go first? What kind of just do a guy, girl, guy? Okay, Sims, based off just the initial video, before we dive fully into it, what are your thoughts? He said, let me go and smoke.
Well, I'm gonna say this much, and it was something that I noticed nobody tend to really listen to, and a lot of people don't believe this, is that when he said men making X, Y, and Z, let's just take looks out of it for a second. Men that make X, Y, and Z make 6 figures a year. They don't want you, but then on the back burner, he says she makes 6 figures. Now, a lot of older cats I know from work, from the gym, from the streets, on some keep it in a whole 100 with y'all, they look for somebody evenly yoked more than anything else. They're like, listen, I can get looks, I can get this. Are you want to be a bill, or you want to help me grow? If your whole ambition is to have what is that called, generational wealth type thing, you really want to build an empire, you can't expect me to want to build an empire with somebody who can't even come up with half I make a year. So I would pursue somebody that makes almost as much as me. If she's making 6 figures, if we're screw looks, I'm not worried about looks right now. If we're basing it off the money aspect, if she makes 6 figures, she's more than entitled enough to ask for a man to make that same amount of money. I'm sorry. Okay, she got a kid. Who cares? Who cares? I don't want to hear that. The boy 13, he'll be out the house in a couple of years. You telling me that
Going down to the stove.
You telling me that it's like for her, okay, if I make 6 figures, he makes 6 figures, we are comfortable. We are extremely comfortable. However, if I make 6 figures, you make 40K a year, and you want to be with me after my son leave, I got to take care more. Nobody want to hear this. I know nobody want to hear this. I'm going to get crucified for this. I don't care. She want to take care of him. What's the point of that point? What's really the point of that point? Like, and it's up to her if she wants to pursue that man or not, vice versa. But she has every right, income-wise, to ask for somebody of even money, evenly yoked. Looks-wise, we can go back and forth about that till the cows come home. But money-wise, if she making 6 figures and she's an entrepreneur in North Carolina making 6 figures from a grooming business, quite honest with you, I'm gonna give her accolades. And being a single mother, everything else, I really want to give this woman a round of applause. Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay, we want to get into, well, you ain't that cute. Brother, man, you sit in the dark with a candle. I can't see you. Man, what do my brothers follow up?
So you brought up a great point, because like you said, I think she said she started her business 3 years ago. So in 3 years, she's now able to make 6 figures, which is amazing, by the way. I don't know why I don't have a dog grooming business out here in Arizona when everybody got all the little foo-foo dogs out here. So I should just be making 6 figures anyways. Please don't come after me, y'all. Don't come after me. I love everybody, whatever state you in. But North Carolina is not a place where I'm like, ooh, that's where all the rich people that I want in my bracket, because she's making 6 figures. She wants someone else that's also making 6 figures. But if you look at your demographic, you don't have 6-figure men around you. Okay. Now, if she were to move to New York, if she were to move to San Francisco or LA, by all means, even Florida, they got some rich ass people down there too. Your area that you are surrounding yourself with are not going to be 6-figure men. And if you do find a 6-figure man, they're probably visiting, and they're not there to look for their potential partner that is also making 6 figures, if that makes sense. But if you remove the money, and this is sad because this is just how life has always been, okay? Remove the money, okay? We always go off of looks. It's the first thing that we look at, people. We always don't judge a book by its cover, but that's what we all do. It doesn't matter who you are. You look at somebody, you're like, that's a good person, or I think they're cute, or they're or I don't trust them. It's just, it goes in, boom, boom, and you're done. If you remove her making 6 figures, and based off of what she wants as well, and I know when she says she wants 6 figures, she wants 6 figures with the hot Tyson back. You know what I mean? She still want the 10 without the money. If the money wasn't, if you took the money out, she still want a 10, okay? And she's still going to be a 5. You're not in that circle to be up with the 10s just yet. Not saying money will get her there, it will, but it still always comes down to looks. Because if you look at all the millionaires, the billionaires, look at their wives. If they're married, okay? Look at them. A lot of them are younger. A lot of them, surgery and stuff, but it's because when you go out in the world and they take a picture of you, they don't want it to be like, why are you guys mismatched? You know what I mean? Why do you look like a 10 and why does she look like a 5? Or vice versa. Why does she look like a 10 and you got a 5? You know what I mean? And like he said, normally if you see that mismatch, it's because they grew up, they built together, and they're not shady and they're like, I'm staying together. You know what I mean? But realistically, remove the money. What else does she have? And he even said it. And she's like, well, my body. Okay. There's Dr. Miami. There's Dr. 90210. You know what I mean? Everybody can get the body. And yeah, you can also change your face too. But I don't know if you noticed. I noticed it heavy and it actually irked me to where I didn't even care if her feelings were hurt. She was like this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
personality.
For sure.
Why she didn't hear him?
Go ahead, Jiggly, because I saw that and I immediately was like, I'm done. I'm not even on her side anymore.
Sims, you talked about some things, and Trin, you did too, and I wrote it down here. She did not have realistic expectations. She did not have realistic expectations around what she had, what she brought to the table, and what she wanted. I'm not gonna go over, the whole looks thing and the mismatch in pay, because I mean she did that to herself. She said, she was only halfway there, but she asking for, the moon. And I do agree that you have to be, you can, it's okay to ask for what you have. You know what I mean? Like, she had 6 figures. It's okay to ask for 6 figures, because at the end of the day, if we a unit, this unit is producing something. And if I'm bringing more than you bring in, then our output isn't maximum, right? So that all makes sense. But she did not have realistic expectations. Trin, when she brought out her phone, I feel like that was a shield. That was her and her confidence. She already said that she thought she was a 5. And when she put on her lashes, she is 6. That means that you don't even think lashes can help you, baby.
Right.
Like you didn't even say, okay, with my lashes, I'm an 8. Like, no, you don't even feel like you don't have the confidence that is necessary to pull that man that you're trying to pull, that you want to pull. You don't have that. Talking about the men who earn 6 figures and they marry younger, that mindset is a trophy mindset, right? If you are trying to build, if you're trying to make something, then you're not concerned about what that looks like. You're not concerned about the body. You could go buy a bitch a body. You want someone who is going to, feed your soul and feed, the empire that you are building or that you have built. You go grab a 20-something, something that looks great. A lot of times that's because it looks great, right? It makes you feel like even more of the man. And I don't know if men who are like that necessarily even like women so much as they like the idea of what kind of man they might be or what kind of man they are. Maybe you don't even really like her. Also, Sir, who was talking about the men who want the trophies, they're not looking for good relationships. And also, ma'am, if you think that you're a 5 and you want to get with a 10, don't you think that maybe that 10 might go find him a 10 while you're married to him? Like,
yeah,
you don't feel like you're offering him anything. And also, yes, the lack of personality. But he went in on her, but she came and asked for it.
yeah.
She asked. You can't ask for someone's opinion and then be mad when they give it to you.
Exactly.
If you don't want that opinion, don't open your mouth.
Exactly.
He did go in on her though, and I think that some of like her pulling out her phone was just to hide her embarrassment and to hide, that struggle with her own internal confidence and hearing things that maybe she already thought about herself. Are we gonna have time to talk about what was in the comments? Because now that we've watched this, I did hear about this video and I heard about the comments, and I want to know what they were saying. Like, I heard about them and that they were ruthless, but I didn't read it, so I don't know.
Yeah. So from the few sources, I think I looked at like 5 different people that had posted about it and looked in their comments, whether there were people with 1 million followers or 50 followers. I still read the comments because I was like, I want to know. You know what I mean? I'm not nosy, but I like to know. Okay. And
that's why we got Trin Talks, because you know.
So the majority of the comments where I noticed a lot of the women were hurt were also women that had kids. Mind you, I have a daughter, and believe me, when I actually split from her father, I was like, damn, ain't nobody gonna want me because I got a kid now, and now I have a baby daddy. You know what I mean? And it, sad to say, it's life. It is what it is. You are a package deal now. You are not just you. You are not just you and looking cute, whatever it is. Being a 5, a 10, a 7, doesn't matter. You now have baggage, okay? And
I don't want you to call it baggage. Can you do me a favor? Can you call it factors?
Factors. I like it. Yeah,
I like that term.
We're now in
Fizz approved.
Like, seeing these comments from the women that are like, well, I have a kid, I have 5 kids, so you're telling me I'll never find somebody? Not at all. There's people out there There's men that step up and be like, you got 5 kids, guess what? I'm gonna be here for you and those 5 kids. I will now be stepdad, no issues, whatever. But he mentioned, and I think this is where, when I was reading the comments, they missed it. She has a crazy baby daddy, which tells me her baby daddy ain't no good whatsoever. He could be out here harassing whoever she does try to date, if she's tried to date in the past. No, that's my son. We don't know if he's putting stuff in the kid's ear to where no matter who she finds, the kid's just like, nah, that's not my dad.
Forget you, Paul.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a lot of factors, which I wish I could go deeper into knowing who the father of her child is, because that also might be a reason why she feels like she's a 5, why she feels like with lashes she's a 6.
Yeah,
because
he could have been Ike.
Brought all the way down. He left. She's like, I need to make money for me and my kid. Now she's making 6 figures. Amazing. I love it. But the baby daddy will always be there. She's got at least another 5 years having to deal with him, which means you as a 10, you as a person that she wants also making 6 figures. Do you have the time to deal with baby daddy drama, baby mama drama, the parent of your, do you have time? No, nobody wants to have to deal with that. And I fully understand being a mother with a kid. I understand that too. I don't need you to be out here wasting my time, wasting the kids' time. I don't want to be wasting your time, X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So when he mentioned like age, we'll get into that later, but your age, your kid, your crazy baby daddy, I don't want no part of it already. You know what I mean? Honestly, if he said baby daddy first, I would have been done already, because I'd have been like, oh, he crazy too? I don't have time for that. I'm not going to put myself at risk, because there's crazy mothers and fathers out there. They find out that their spouse moved on or whatever it is. They don't like it. So she has a lot, just alone with that, working against her. And of course, she doesn't want to lie and be like, oh, yeah, we're great. And then he shows up at their beautiful mansion in North Carolina, let's fight, because we all heard the stories. We all see the stories on the news, whatever it is. So when I saw the comments of women like, oh, well, I have a kid, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. If your attitude was not like hers, you're fine. And like you said, she pulled out the phone probably to deflect, to be like, oh, I don't want to hear what he's saying now. But it was also rude on top of that.
Oh, it was extremely rude.
That makes me wonder how she is in person. If it's like, hey, maybe she met somebody who was making 6 figures. They went on a date and she was on her phone the whole time. Or he's like, hey, so I know you're, what did he say, 35?
Yeah.
You're 35, you're a little older than what I normally like. She could have probably shut down right then and there and then ruined whatever that could have been. She heard something that she found as a flaw in herself and ended it. So seeing her pull that phone out, I understand it's a deflection, because nobody likes to be called out, but he literally just regurgitated what she told him. So yes, he went in, but I think it's because, like you said, as soon as she pulled that phone out, it was like, I'm not listening to what you're saying. And I'm not going to listen to anything you're saying after me pulling out this phone, because it doesn't matter.
That's rude. You on my show. Now you're not listening. You're wasting my time.
Exactly. So when I saw the women's side of that in the comments, I was like, everybody's story is different.
Everybody's story is different.
Everybody's story.
Hear from one of the guys.
Yeah. So let's go with Nameless.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
You can go last if you want.
No, I might as well go. I'm going to say some incendiary things that I feel the panel might not like, and some people viewing this might not like. So perhaps I should go ahead, get out the way. That way, by the time one of the other guys goes, all the steam will be on me. I'll be molten in the corner, and they can be able to speak in peace.
Hey, everybody's perspective is welcome.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, you're wrong, but unless you come for me, then I'm gonna pull out my phone.
Somebody out there is gonna agree with you and needs to hear what you gotta say. And who knows, somebody here might agree with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my position is 3-pronged. First thing, I don't think there's a lot of I understand there are a lot of people who commented, a lot of women who commented on the video, but I don't know that a lot of those women who commented on the video, if they did what you did, Trin, and went around and saw how many. Because if they did, they might have seen a trend. And in that, they might have said, wait a minute, why is it that there are so many people who are not close to each other from relation or even geography? Why are we all having the same visceral reaction to this? And especially in this country, we are, unfortunately, in many ways, we are more divided than anything else, except when it comes to negative things and things that are destructive. On those things, for some magical reason, there are a lot of people who can, mind meld and everyone's on the same accord. The reason behind that is because there's similarities in stages of brokenness and hurt and in trauma. So I can understand that there are a bunch of people who commented and felt slighted or attacked by that, because in some ways they've all been victimized in that way. Another thing I don't think they realized was he mentioned all of y'all need therapy. That was another thing that she kind of just, deflected past. I personally am an advocate, especially for blurs and people of color. I think we should be at the top of the pile for therapy, because there are so many things in our genealogy, I'm sorry, not even from a place of what our parents or grandparents did or whatever, not even talking about the very blatant traumas that anyone would be able to look at, oh, well, that's wrong. I'm talking about that stuff. I'm talking about the generational historical things, going back, generations that have even forgotten their names, all that stuff. And I believe there is a medical term for it, but there are medical and psychological studies that basically say you can store the genetic material of a trauma, especially a severe trauma, and pass it along. That's why you have some people who have a child and the child is afraid of, animals or whatever have you, even though they've never experienced that. So when it comes to those passed down traumas, feeling like you're not enough, being unworthy, things of that nature, all that, kind of compounds together. And it's great when people can, pull themselves by the bootstraps and get to a place of understanding, okay, I can do better than what the people around me did. And like I said, it's great, 6 figures, that's fantastic for her. But it doesn't matter how much you can produce or how amazing you can create something in front of you. If your mind and your heart, if your internal, if the city of your soul is not tamed and is not reconstructed, all you're going to do is reimagine and recycle those same scenarios over and over again on a different level. And most of the people, especially in our cultures, who have gotten to that level and have stayed there for a significant period of time, they've invested in therapy. They've gone to our peers, our Caucasian peers, and saying, oh, there's merit in this, and gone through those stages and be able to revamp themselves and things of that nature. And they've gotten that healing. So when they see someone else who might want to be, even she could be a 10, she could be the most elegant, glory, even if she wasn't have the that might be a momentary thing. She might be a delightful person, very charismatic, very, engaged in conversation. But as soon as someone who is healed starts to see those things, more than her having a family or whatever, even baby daddy, more than all that, that person's going to realize, okay, if I decide to deal with this person, they are a danger not only to what I'm building, but to my own mental and spiritual health. So why would I want that person around?
Right.
She just by not acknowledging the things that she has to grow from, like you said, she said, oh, she's a 5. Outside of, okay, the misogynistic, patriarchy of the number system, grade system, all that stuff aside, just the concept that she relied on something artificial to validate herself. that speaks to so much insecurity on, you know, a fundamental level. Like historically, you know, putting on powder wigs, you know, men wearing heels, which yes, women, men were originally the ones for heels.
Mhm.
So the whole, oh, I feel sexy, I feel powerful because I wear heels. Yeah, dudes do the same thing. So a dude flossing with a Rolex, he just swapped his heels for a Rolex. So
Mhm.
you now having a Maserati, that doesn't make you better than a man. You're just following the same unfortunate and toxic mindset that some men are stuck on, which
Mhm.
back to psychology of it. A lot of this, especially for our age group, and this is the one I might get hit for. We have been, or some of us have been, too much invested in Disney. A lot of us grew up with, you know, the Disney movies and all this, that, and the third, and our parents didn't realize that they were actually setting us up for failure later on in life. Oh, Ariel, you know, this is handsome man. I don't need to speak. He'll love me and accept me and take me in, even though I can't speak to him. Yeah, that's a man who saw you as a thing. You are a new object, a trinket, a thingamabob,
A
as she would say.
trophy.
Yes,
Called her a dingle hopper.
yes, or a dingle hopper.
It could be a trophy or a dingle hopper.
Yeah. So that mindset at some level, it's not even completely her, it was definitely not her idea, but she doesn't even realize she's doing it. She's putting herself in a position of, I want, you know, a man with 6 finger. I want, because I don't even think it came from, I want someone who's equally yoked. The way she talked about it and just her mannerisms, I personally got the impression that she was on a, oh no, I want, you know, I want something shiny. I want something worthy of me. I want something
Entitlement.
to make me feel good about myself. Yes, like she was entitled to it.
Mhm.
So she was the prince and she's looking for her Ariel. Like, I don't care what all you have, as long as you have the things I want that make me feel good about me, then that's what I want.
Yeah.
Because if she were to switch her mindset and say, okay, I strictly want X amount of money, yeah, there are some men with younger women, and some of those men are fugly. There are plenty of fugly men richer than half of the world, and they have something young, dumb, and full of something else on their arm, but that's not what she wants to be. Like, if you can either, and it's unfortunate that we're in this place, you can either have your integrity and work on you and do the things that you want to do and get whole and find a life partner, or if you just want these two boxes checked, he has got the Fabio mane, he's got to be, you know, smile like, you know, Tay Diggs, you know, lick his lips like LL, have the physique of LL. Like, yeah, you can run down that list. Curly,
You're talking like this is a recipe. Can I order this?
Yeah, hold on, let me write this down.
Curly said no. Curly, Rico Suave, Suavente, no.
I don't trust no dude that's too pretty. I can't.
He's suspect. He's a little questionable.
And looks like my time here as looking pretty is up. So goodbye.
No. Well, you actually brought up something with the whole Disney princess thing or whatever. If you really look at it, every single Disney princess, they were kind of just kept in a bubble. And then we're like, I want to bust out. And the first thing is they always think, oh, a man's going to come save me. Not all Disney princesses, because I know y'all going to be like, no, I don't want to hear.
Let's just talk about the ones that we grew up on, because
you know,
the narrative started to change, and you know, Disney started to look a little bit more diverse.
Yeah.
And the princesses, even though they kind of had that same sort of mentality, but the ones that we grew up in, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, no. And he's right, because if you think about it, just in life in general, and this is even just coming from me, because you mentioned it and actually brought something in my mind. If we look at how, we'll say proposals, wedding proposals, marriage proposals, okay? They're like, the girl's like, I want the whole street filled with roses. I want everybody to know about it, which in every Disney movie, the whole town knew about it. You know what I mean? Whether you was under the sea or on the cobblestone road. But then it's like, and I want fireworks, and I want the horse-drawn carriage, and I want this, and it's literally, she's bringing up, building her own Disney story for this moment. And same thing with weddings. I want the big Cinderella poofy. I want it to shine, glow, turn off the lights. I want to be spinning around like Cinderella. Like you said, it's just something that's just been bloop. We didn't even know about it until you get older. You're like, yeah, I want that too. That's awesome. Oh my God. Because I remember Cinderella was my favorite movie, or The Little Mermaid was my favorite movie, blah, blah, blah. And we just had that stuff in there.
Can I just comment real quick?
Please.
If you do that for me, I'm gonna be more pissed because you spent all this money. Why? Let's go somewhere. Take that money and take me on a trip or something. Why? Roses? They die. What?
I'm just saying, not all women, because believe me, there's one that'd be like, hey, just wake me up. And like, I'm pretty sure I posted it. I think I might have posted it on Facebook, but this lady was knocked out sleep. Her man put the ring on her finger, took a picture of her sleep. She's like, you know what I mean? Like dead. And the next morning she woke up, was like, oh snap, this happened. Loved it. Now they're engaged. They're planning their wedding. Perfect. There was no, I mean, there was a picture, but there wasn't a videographer, photographer.
Yeah, no fanfare.
Okay, but don't do that either, because I want to know. Because sometimes I feel like I'm tripping. So I'm gonna be like, did I do something last night? Did I?
What did I do to get this ring? Did I rob somebody?
But it's just, also, fellas, here, take out your pens and paper. Okay, I'm giving you a little snippet of what y'all need to do. If you have your girl, okay, and you know she's got a Pinterest, which I know 90% of women have Pinterest. There's one that's going to say engagement or wedding. Take a browse of this, so you don't end up going with Jen and doing the whole shebang. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? I could have just been at home and came home, had a nice little balloon that says, I love you. You're like, will you marry me? And she'd be like, oh my God, yes, I love you. No extra, whatever. Look at Pinterest. Pinterest will help you. But this also brings me to my next point, which I actually want to ask Jen, because with the therapy and how he said, we need therapy. He said, y'all need therapy, and he's not wrong. He might've said it in a very crude way, but he's not wrong. Therapy helps everybody, okay? Now, I know you're going to school for that, and you're just like, I don't want to talk about school, but I do want to get your insight on what, as far as you know, and what you're studying, or just even not outside of school, what are your thoughts on when it comes to how she was acting and needing therapy and stuff like that?
Honestly, again, nothing he said was necessarily wrong, but the way that he delivered it was just that could have done more damage to what she's already feeling. That I'm not okay with. Clearly, like, again, her looking at her phone was just, I don't want to hear it. Like, I know this stuff about myself. I'm pretty sure people are looking at her like I did. Sorry to say, I was like, she got bat wings on her eyes. I can't. No. I mean,
she wasn't ready.
But like, therapy is great. I'm in it. I tell everyone to, like, at least go to one session. I get it. Some counselors are in it for the money, so some people are put off by
unfortunately.
that. But there are some counselors that actually care. And people don't understand that the one you get is the one is not the one that you have to stick with. Like you can shop around. It's okay. But I also want to say, sir, you need therapy, because what makes you high and mighty? You over here with like scientist lab goggles on. What?
A whole Dexter corner hiding.
Like, you in the dark. Like, did you experience a blackout? Because you made all this. You said that you made all this money and you can't afford lighting, sir. I don't get it. And like I'm looking at him because he said that he can't beat him off with a stick, and I'm like, but you look average to me though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Is it the pocket?
It's definitely beauty. It could be beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Listen,
if that beholder does have
that is my favorite phrase.
If that beholder got a little bit of coins,
Right.
it look a lot better. Okay, so yeah, I guarantee if we pull up his Instagram or whatever, or Facebook, or even his business, there's ladies on there like, "You are so fine. I love a mature man." Boo, boo, boo. But really, it's just,
yeah.
Can I get that secured? Can I?
I mean, again, he like nothing he said was necessarily wrong, but of course, people are different. Like the way she thinks about herself, there's definitely like 10s and 20s that'll still want her.
Oh,
you know. So, but the way that he went about it, she's clearly someone who has low self-esteem, and you're delivering this news in a way that's gonna break her even further. And now this is a viral video. You are not helping at all. Like, you are part of the problem.
And I want to know, I wish I knew who shared the video, because I want to know if she shared it, like, look how he tried to grill me, or if he shared it, or one of the people watching shared it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure she didn't share that, the way she pulled out her phone and was like, I don't want to hear this no more.
Shoot.
But then again, some people just want their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
So
and she did mention, she's like, do you see me?
I was like, girl.
He's like, yes. She's like,
you already told us how you see yourself. Like, that's not a question you should ask.
Yeah, I feel like if he asked, what do you rate yourself? And she's like an 8 or a 9 or a 10, whatever she rates herself. You know what I mean?
I wonder why he said she can't be a 7. He was like,
because that's a safe number. I'm a 7.
Say what?
Everybody.
Lucky number. It's pretty much average to everybody.
Yeah.
Some people instinctively will go with that number because it's low enough so that they don't seem too arrogant.
Passing.
High enough.
It's a C.
It's a C.
Okay.
But then she says, but my body. So now that also makes me think, like I said, I don't know if it's, the father of her child or people she's dated in the past. Like, your face is okay, but your body banging. Let me get with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The part when he said, what do you rate to yourself? Just your face. I was like,
So he already knew she was going to go there.
Yeah. And then that's why he asked it that way. Because like you said, if he said, rate yourself, you're going to think head to toe. You'd be like, oh, you know what? Shoot, I'm an 8, I'm a 9. Shoot, this body definitely got me an extra 4 points. You know what I mean? Like, okay, but take the body out. You know what I mean? Then what?
Did you guys see like the aftermath? So I don't know if these pictures are real or not, but there are pictures floating around of her, like body pics. And people, but she is thick.
Hey,
again, I don't know if these pictures are real.
Are we talking
nowadays,
Snickers or oatmeal made with milk?
We talking like a Chico stick. But anyway,
Dick got it.
I don't know if these are real, but nowadays when you say that your body's banging, it's because you're slim thick.
Right.
She just thin.
And here's the thing, and everybody out there that's listening, no shade to slim people, because I used to be one of them before a kid. Okay, I literally was a whole piece of paper floating in the wind. Okay, I had nothing. I had no curves, nothing.
And you got that kid though.
And I got that kid though. But I would say I'm gonna give it out to my kid for giving me these curves. I appreciate it. But still, and like you said, you don't know if those are pictures of her, but the internet works fast, you guys. As soon as he said, they're like, Instagram, I want to see it. I want to see what this banging body that she's like, I have the body. And if it came out to where she's a stick, don't get me wrong, there's guys that like the small, slim, whatever it is. And there's guys that like the nice, thick, and the chunky, and everything in between. But like you said, if you said, oh, I got the banging body, first thing that pops up in my mind personally is she got nice titties, slim waist, ass and thighs. You know what I mean? Slim Coke bottle, it don't matter.
A whole
That's
body,
the
yada,
freaking-
yada,
that
yada,
question?
yada, yada,
Yes,
yada.
Is that the Snickers? Because I'm curious about this analogy now.
Oh,
Is
Jesus
the
Lord.
hourglass girl the Snickers?
So
Sim said no.
Are you saying like
Rihanna-
thicker than a Snicker? Or are you saying
Rihanna-
like fake?
Rihanna would be Snickers,
Ooh,
thick
Okay.
as Snickers,
Okay.
and Meg Thee Stallion would be oatmeal made with milk.
Okay. There is a clear difference in the
Both nice, both thick,
Both thick.
healthy.
But one of them is
But-
going to stick to your ribs.
One is thick.
And like I always say this, y'all hear me say this on Twitch. Thicker than peanut butter in the freezer, okay? That's Meg Thee Stallion. Okay. That's thick. Okay. Try to take a spoon out of that. It ain't happening. That's thick, okay? But I agree with the Rihanna because first of all, Snickers are delicious. Okay. So Snickers, if you hear us, we ready.
Let me say what
But
the
second-
Snickers. The Snickers.
Mm.
All of them could be Snickers in my opinion because they could get packed full of nuts.
And that wraps up our
broadcast day.
episode for the day.
Hey, is that a Four Loco? Put that down. Pee-wee, put that down.
Oh
Hold
man.
up.
shit.
See,
Only
Fizz out
two.
here thinking he got a whole fresh shave that he just out here doing new things.
I went through something.
And since he want to be speaking, I want to hear your thoughts on this too, because you're the last.
Got him.
I am the last. And let me start by saying this. Jig, Jen, SD, Bunny, you're out there. All my ladies, girls can't geek, all ladies, period. Don't you ever. I understand there's a difference between reality, but your own truth. Don't you ever downgrade yourself.
I'm a 3.
We're gonna fight.
I'm gonna mute you.
You're gonna
Go
fight.
And then
ahead.
Trin will upset
Actually,
you.
you know what?
Edit
Try to
that out.
compliment them.
Don't
You know
edit
what?
that
Hold
out.
on. Hold on. We'll get to that. After we're done with Fizz, we're gonna get into rating ourselves in a minute. Jen, I'm gonna fight you. You're next to me right here. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna call your mom or somebody.
Is she on this side of my screen? Can I just
Yeah.
No, ladies,
But go ahead, Fizz.
please don't ever downgrade yourself. Don't ever, because somebody thinks of you. Matter of fact, there's probably a lot of people who think of you so high in this world and they get upset. They feel, just that's from somebody else's perspective, but your own perspective is yours. But you got to understand you're on this earth for a specific reason. She has a kid, so her baby daddy is crazy and thinks that she's a 20 billion. That's why he's crazy. Things of that sort. It's just like, that's what upset me the most. Like, you're thinking yourself as a 5, and then when you throw on the yaki and the lashes, you're a 6. Like, come on. That, and he's right, he needs therapy, but I don't like I never liked his tone from the get-go, because he feels like it's his show and he can say what he wants. No, there's a thing called respect, buddy. There's a thing called humbling yourself, and you're not humble. You're back in the. I guarantee you, and I'm not calling myself no. Whatever girls he's beating off with a stick, I could take him from him without no problem. So fuck him and his opinion out there, because that shit is disrespectful. No person on this earth, man, woman, or child, appreciates disrespect. No, so it bothered me to the core that there was just so much negative connotation. Anybody can get anybody. Jermaine Dupri got Janet Jackson. Whether it was money or not, they were married.
Nah, I don't think it was money, because she had her own money. First of all, she had the whole Jackson legacy. Okay, she did not need his. I'm not trying to talk shit about him. She doesn't need his money. Okay,
they were equal on that front, if not like in the same arena.
Yeah.
So I say that anybody can get anybody who they want. If there's some things that are slightly like Lord Nameless, like gave us the Disney perspective, sure, but that's the fairy tale. That's what they strive for. If you work hard enough in your life, whatever it is, you're going to achieve what you want to get. If you put that much effort into it. So if you're in a trying to find a partner, she makes 6 figures. That's going to attract maybe 60% of the world. Just be her for making 6 figures, from bums to paupers to people working McDonald's for those who make six figures as well. That's going to attract that part of her. If she just had it, it's all about what everybody said. It's that confidence. It is that confidence that which builds us to attract, the job we want, the person we want, the car we want, anything we want is imbibing confidence. Just turn me the most. As a person who's raising a daughter as myself, I want her to understand that anything you want to achieve is within you. If you're not a quitter, you're going to get it. If you're not a lame, you're going to get it. If you're not lazy, you're going to get it. So I don't have much. It was on this, but it was just that tore me apart, and his disrespectful ass of like, yeah, I get it. You're trying to, and then get the fuck off my phone. What? All right, it's your show. Do what you got to do. But I guarantee you that he's probably lonely himself, because I looked up his stuff and I didn't see any marriage. I didn't see any, ring and stuff. He got a couple of baby mamas, and
that's what I'm saying. He needs therapy too, like the audacity.
Right.
The audacity.
So that's
unmitigated.
Unmitigated.
Yeah.
I want to go back for a second and talk about therapy and trauma and doing the work and how that affects us, because we're brown people in this country, and we have all of the stress and the trauma that came from generations before us, that came from slavery, right? It was a long time ago if you look at just pure years, but it wasn't a long time ago as far as social context and how our society runs. And it hasn't gone away. And recently it's gotten, ridiculous. But around those social spaces and the spaces where, people think about, how they move and how they feel about each other and how they build their relationships. People make choices and make moves in order to protect themselves. Like homegirl pulled up her phone to protect herself, but she protecting herself, she's going to pass those methods of protection down to her children, and that's going to go forward. We have methods of protection as a result of slavery, where sometimes we're not so, outward and so forward about showing emotion, about showing that we care about people. Back then, that was a protection mechanism. If people know that I feel for you, then they'll use you to hurt me.
Yeah.
Back then, it was protection, but we taught our children this. And so now we don't know how to interact with each other in those intimate spaces because those examples haven't been there before us, right? We have those things built into our DNA because it's protection, but we have to recognize and we have to find ways to release that. Going to therapy, like y'all said, is incredibly important. Checking your mental health is really important. It's the reason I practice yoga, to move and release those things from me. So I encourage everybody out there, figure out what works for you and do it. Because even if it's not something in front of you immediately, it's in you.
Yep. And you brought up a really good point. Everybody did. Just I'm melding it together right now. So for myself, I've gone to therapy. I've gone to therapy for my family because we're having family issues, and then went to therapy for myself. Okay. Everybody should go. You might not even think you need therapy, but when you actually sit there and they're like, tell me how your day went, you're like, man, work was this. And it's like, okay, well, what made it that way? Oh, well, this person irritated me. Well, what do they do? So why did you let it bother you? You don't have anything. And it's just like, well, I've always just had to deal with it because of when I was little and my parents would X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? You'll start unraveling a lot that you don't even realize that you're balling up in. I hate to say this, I'm calling myself out. When I was going to therapy for myself, this was around, memes have been out forever, okay? Back then, it could have been chiseled into a rock. We would have been like, haha, that's funny. But I realized I used to use memes to hide whatever pain I was going through. Now I use them because it helps relieve whatever stress or whatever I'm going through outwards, because I'm going to laugh about it. I'm like, all right, I didn't need to worry about that. That was whatever. Here's my joke. And if you notice,
that Moses fish. Big
mm-hmm. Yes.
That was hella funny.
But it's just stuff like that. Because how many times have y'all been like, I'm about to be late for work. Oh my God. Do. This is what happens. Like, y'all, I was late for work because there was a 11-car pileup and I was stressing. I was like, no, hold up. And guess what? That meme popped. I was like, perfect timing. Let me share this. You know what I mean? But I could have sat there and let it seep into my soul and be like, see, look, I'm late again. I even got up early. I actually tried today and it didn't even work out. Why me? Woe is me. Boo, 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 boo. You know what I mean? But I use memes now to just, honestly, it helps me. And I know it helps a lot of people out there. Like, yo, I needed that joke. I needed that laugh. I need that picture. I need that video. Good. If I could help you, I'm helping you. But it also helps me. And sorry for everybody out there. Y'all be getting real testy when I be posting the Nina memes, the Jiraiya memes, the Lion King memes. Y'all be getting real cutthroat, okay? But the reason I share those, one, they're funny. But two, I cried with Nina and Alexander. Oh, everybody cried on Lion King. Like, there was not a dry eye. You tell me you see your father drop off. No.
I can't watch that. I can't watch that scene. I will go use the restroom, go re-up on my snacks. Like, I don't like this. I can't do it. It hurts. Yep.
Like that.
That phone out.
But with Jiraiya, not trying to ruin it, if not everybody watched it or whatever. But I share those because for me, I can sit there and be like, oh God, that was sad, and start crying about it. Or I can use myself to be like, I need to laugh about it. This is how I get past that trauma. This is how I get past the sadness that's associated with those things. And you even read the comments, people are like, God, this hurts so much, but it's funny. It makes me feel better about it. So, and it's been mentioned for years now, not just Black Twitter, but we're just gonna say Black Twitter because everybody knows when you say Black Twitter, you know what you're talking about. Black Twitter, we use it maybe as a deflection or a way to heal. We joke about everything on Black Twitter. Trump being president, jokes everywhere. Obama being president, jokes everywhere. Bush being president, jokes everywhere. Everything. And even with Black Lives Matter, we had to throw a joke in there because it was getting to the point where so much sadness and hurt and pain that we can only take so much of. It's like, I need to laugh about something. You know what I mean? And now it's like, oh, I just saw one the other day. It was like, I broke up with my white girlfriend. She removed Black Lives Matter out of her bio.
I seen that.
Funny.
I saw that.
But, you know what I mean? It's a serious subject. But it was like, you got me. All right, I'm gonna chuckle on that. You know what I mean?
Can we talk about, like, there was one year where planking was a thing, and I'm like,
oh my God,
why is that a thing? Do you guys not know the history of planking? Like, I don't even like calling the like the actual workout planks. Like, I call them bridges because what? Do you guys not realize what you're reenacting? It's not supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be a trend. But it was a whole thing. Why?
It was a whole thing. Honestly, I can't even tell you why. But like I said, people will go out there, and I'm not saying this for my Caucasian people out there that are listening, whatever. Y'all started. I didn't see no Black person do that until afterwards, but y'all started, and it's just like, why are you on a fence? What are you doing on top of a car? Why are you at McDonald's playpen all the way at the top? Laying there, you know what I mean? It didn't make sense to, like you said, it's not funny, but then we're like, we can't visually look at that and be like, God, I need that hurt all the time. I need a different outlet. Then it just became funny where everybody was planking on everything. They had their pets planking on them planking, and you know what I mean? It was just like a weird thing.
Jay-Z put it in the song, planking on a billion.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, come on.
But it's like with her, because I want to bring it back to her. She definitely was showing up a lot of defensive mechanisms. The phone was one of them, but it was also rude. And I'm not trying to excuse him. Believe me, we already said what we need to say about him. Okay. But like you said, if you're going to ask for someone's opinion, don't sit there and be mad when they're going to give you their opinion.
Right.
When you go to a counselor or a therapist or whatever, they're going to say the exact same thing. Hey, rate yourself. Okay. You think you're that? Okay, cool. I'm going to agree with you because that's what you see yourself as. I could rate you something higher or lower, but if you say you're a 5, bet you're a 5 now. And then you're going to be mad because you're like, well, I was hoping you said I was like a 7, an 8. You know what I mean? No, you gave yourself that rating. You know what I mean? Now, I know we was over here joking with Jen because she's like, I give myself a 3. We still going to fight. But
I do not accept that, ma'am. I do not accept that from you.
The lowest I'm taking is 7. From 7 to 10, what do you rate yourself? That's what we're doing. I'm telling you, 7 is the lowest. You're gonna get a C+ or higher. No failing in this class, okay? And you can't pick 7. So what you picking? 8, 9, or 10? Because 7's average, and we're not doing average.
No, but, do you know what's funny when it comes to looks for me personally? I was raised by parents who never really made me pay attention to that, except for my weight, obviously. But they never called me ugly. My mom always called me pretty and beautiful in the face.
Because you are.
No. But she always emphasized the face, meaning you pretty, but you gotta lose weight. But that being said, I don't think about looks. I don't think I'm ugly at all. I think I'm decent. That's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. I think I'm decent. But all y'all gonna get is I know that I'm not ugly.
All right. That means you ain't a 3.
I'm gonna take it, but when we get off, I'm gonna talk to you because I no, I'm not accepting that. But you mentioned something. You said your parents, and like I said, it's passed down generation to generation. And just like I said, I was a stick, you guys. I have an older sister and I have a younger sister. They came out thick, hips, ass, all of it. What did I do? I came out with the athletic runner body, okay? No problems with that whatsoever.
Runner's got ass.
Nah, I mean, I got booty now. But like, my mom would even say, oh, you stepped out of the genetic pool and got this body from somewhere, and then you stepped back in. And even my aunts, even my uncles, even my grandparents, they're like, oh, you're so cute. Like you said, in the face. But you got to eat a little bit more. You got to put a little weight on you. But when it came to my little sister, my older sister, oh, you have a beautiful body, a gorgeous womanly body, which made me feel like, oh, well, excuse me, in my man chest over here. You know what I mean? And it's something that just kind of follows with you throughout the rest of your life. And Fizz, just like you said, you're trying to raise your daughter too. Same here. But I be telling my daughter, like, head to toe, you look amazing. That's it. I'm not gonna be like, but your face, but your outfit, but this. No, she gonna get the whole, you are gorgeous, you're beautiful. Yeah, and you have a beautiful soul. You're so kind. We need to speak more about how they act than how they look. You are so sweet. You are so nice. This and the other. Yesterday, she hurt her arm. I went to go and massage her shoulder, and she's like, Mom, you're the best doctor I've ever seen. I love you. And I was like, that was so sweet.
And you cried.
Oh, I cried.
My baby loves me.
Oh, yes, you know, but it's stuff like that. You know, yes. But she'll tell you the truth. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I'm hoping when she gets older, she knows it's not just about this. It's not just about what's going on below the chin. You know what I mean? it's about who you are. And that's what I'm saying. I wish I knew more about this lady. Because like you said, Nameless, you said that outside, she could be a really sweet woman. She could be very kind, whatever it is. We only got 7 minutes of her. You know what I mean? And that 7 minutes left a lasting impression on all of us here. Every single one of us, like, I feel for her, but I also feel like, I don't know, what is she like? And there's more questions like, what is she like outside of that interview? Here, I feel like, you know, from the most part, all of us here, if we were to get off of this and someone was walking down the street like, hey, you're Simms, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, you were super dope. You had a great vibe. Boo, 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 boo. But you know what I mean?
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this whole thing. But you'll get that. Now, if I saw her walking out, she'd be like, ooh, I don't know if I even want to talk. I don't know if I even want to deal with her. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we're going to close out with rating ourselves.
Hold on, I think
you're on my left.
So. Sim, you got your finger up. I think.
Oh, yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Piggyback off what you said, and to piggyback off what Jiggly said about generational stuff and everything what you said about parents, and even what Jen said about parents saying X, Y, and Z to their kids. It is still a very issue in our community, and I see it both with the anime villain. That's what I'm gonna call him. I don't know his real name. Anime villain by Candlelight. And the young lady that was in the video. They both sound like they have been taught by or been told by a previous generation on how to act as an adult, and now we see like this clashing of this mind state. Because I'm not gonna call that woman ugly at all. In fact, I find her very attractive. Personality, that's a different story. But it sounds to me like she had an older auntie, grandma, mama, or somebody that was just like, you need to find yourself a man. He need to make the X, Y, and Z. It shouldn't matter about X, Y, and Z. Anime villain over here, he sound like she had a daddy or granddaddy that was just like, boy, let me tell you something here about women and their issues. And now we see this clash of toxic generations and toxic elders, which is a whole other argument, now influencing this. And it's kind of like, damn, this is the problem didn't even come from no outside source. The problem literally originated in our community, right? And now we see a clash on the grand scale arena of World Star, which is the worst place to have this conversation. And it's like, it's just that, like, even how I was raised, kind of saying like how you was raised with your mom and like, you know, your aunties. My dad, I'm the spitting image of my father. He's spitting me right out. He used to say, son, you're ugly. I'm like, damn, Dad, why I'm ugly? Because you look like me. But it was never nothing negative. But then my mother would chime in out of nowhere. This woman had super hearing when it came to this. Throwing shoes. Don't call my son ugly. He is handsome. Don't ever say that. But my dad never meant it in any negative light. Like, he never said it to my sisters. To them, they were like gorgeous goddesses. But with me, he was like, you was ugly as your daddy. So he meant that in a joking, loving manner. I never took it like any negative way because I knew it came from a good heart. But I always got to stop and think with my father, who told him this? Because he would never have had said this type of X, Y, and Z if somebody along the line ain't called him that. So it's like he took it and made it a shield, like, oh, I'm ugly. It don't matter. It's still gonna be me. And I'm gonna kind of get my son prepared for the world because somebody someday might call him that, so he got to have this rebuttal just in case. So versus my mother, you know, moms, you know, y'all the best in the world. Somebody call their child ugly, they ready to scrap the whole block. And like, that's how my mother was. She's like, nope, my baby is handsome. Get away from him. Don't talk to him like that. So, and now I have this, and we're gonna get to the rating. I have this idea of myself where I see myself, but listening to these two people, I don't know where he is. I don't know what state he's in. For all I know is the brother might be in Cali. She in North Carolina. I would love to know more of their upbringing because there seems to be this weird, and going off what Nameless said, this trauma that keeps popping up on every single social media. It's not just something we've been through, but it had to be something we were taught because somewhere down the line, some elders in our community are toxic and they just keep adding to this pain of like, oh girl, you ugly. You ain't never gonna get a man unless he got money. Little nigga, you ugly. You ain't never gonna get a woman unless you get money. I need somebody to just shut these elders up. Like, yo, can y'all just not talk?
Yep.
Our job.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you touched on behaviors that were taught, Sim, and Jen too. Y'all see me? Y'all hear me? My video.
We hear you, but you
Solid.
frozen.
All right. I hope I'm frozen in a good position and my mouth don't look funny. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about, like what I was taught. I got my genetics from my father because my mother was very Trin-like growing up. She was very piece of paper until children. And so she was relatively thin for most of my life too. But I started to develop, and by the time I was 12, I looked like a woman. I was already about 5'7", 5'8", and I had curvature in places. I remember going across the street to the store and some men catcalling me. That was a very traumatic experience for me. I went home and I cried and I told my mom the things that they were saying to me, and she talked to me. And then she continued to help me to understand what I looked like, but also to not place value into it and to protect it. And that did some damage in some other areas because I grew up thinking that men only wanted me for what I looked like and not for who I was. But I never placed value in what I looked like because of that. Because you don't care about me, you care about what you see. So I never cared about what I looked like. So I never knew what I looked like. I'm glad that I didn't know what I looked like because I probably would have fallen into certain types of pitfalls that quote unquote pretty girls or quote unquote girls with body fall into. But I never cared and I never placed value there. It's really difficult for me to think about rating myself without including the other things outside of my body, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But those are things that I was taught. I was taught, to be more than what I look like.
Right. And when I mean rate, you guys, I'm not saying like just your face or just your body. I mean, like, what do you think as your?
Oh, I thought we was rolling with the world star. Just
I mean overall,
face.
because he stopped her. He's like, just your face. I'm not going to sit here and be like, just your face. What are you rating yourself as? Because like I said, Jen, there's no way you're a 3. Okay.
No way.
There's no way. And just like that lady, I don't find her ugly at all. I actually found her really pretty, but her attitude to me was not where I wanted it at. And like I said, we can cycle through that all over again. But coming off, especially the first time when I watched that, I was like, I do not like how she was acting or not even receiving what was being said. Yeah, it was very harsh how he said it, but she still could have been like, okay, I understand. Thank you for your opinion. Done. But the whole shielding, all that, it turned me completely off. So I was like, yeah, she definitely is a 5. You know what I mean? But I'm saying as far as rating, what do you rate yourself overall? With your body, without your body, however you feel you want to rate yourself, rate yourself.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this and then we'll go into the rating because you brought up something. The DMs that I used to get, that I get, and that I have gotten recently, very different and similar. So before, it was only this. You only saw this. You know why? Because I didn't see, not saying I didn't see any value in my body, but my body was not, like you said, the banging body, wasn't the Megan Thee Stallions, wasn't the Rihanna's, wasn't the Beyonce's, the J-Lo's, whatever it is. Wasn't that. It was, you know what it was? It was the seaweed. It was seaweed. This is me floating away. Okay. And so growing up, people liked me, for my personality, for how I acted and how I was. So people only saw this on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and Tumblr when Tumblr was around. R.I.P.
Oh,
But
Kamala.
but then I get messages from people like, how come you don't show your body? I'm like, it's not important. Like, what you need
Why
to
you
see
thirsty?
right, well, I know they thirsty, but what you see is right here. You know what I mean? And even then, a lot of you guys can, I'm not saying do it because there's like 5,000 posts on my thing. A lot of it, no makeup, no eyelash, no nothing. It's just
Scroll through all of them. It's
don't,
worth
don't
it.
It is worth it. Oh, good Lord, it's worth it. Them memes are golden, y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm cleaning out. So maybe you guys should look at it and then before I delete it. But then when I started showing my body, oh, banging body, boo, 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 DMs, right? And then it's like, oh, you're probably stuck up like these Instagram models. I was like, did y'all not see the what I was just
Wait, so you saw a picture of my body and decided I was stuck up?
Yeah,
New
I
body,
mean,
who this?
people, you know, when they come in, when they start following and stuff, it was like the first thing that they saw was like, oh, she's by the pool. Oh, she a hoe because she's showing a fourth of her butt cheek. Big whoop. You know what I mean?
I'll show my whole damn all the cheeks and I still ain't no hoe.
Yes, girl.
Y'all know how I feel about that shit.
We know.
I know how I feel about that shit.
Believe me, I be looking at Julie like, yeah, yeah. Oh, no, I'm saying, but then when they hear, like when I would go on live or even Twitch, oh, you're actually really sweet. You're really not. What did you think I was? Oh, I thought you were stuck up. I thought you wouldn't even look at my DM.
Thought you was a mean ass hoe because you had on a bikini. So
yeah,
what kind of math is that?
First of all, thank you. Confidence boost, I guess, because there's.
But also, you are not entitled to a response. Who are you? What?
Yeah, and believe me, a lot of times I'm just like, and delete.
Right.
And hold up, this don't even have a picture on it. Oh, delete. You know,
those are sketchy.
Oh, all fine. But just like that, because I'm like, okay, I had my face, and I had my memes, and then I started showing my body. And then now I'm an Instagram thought who is mean, stuck up, don't care about nobody. Then you hear me and you're like, oh, I thought you were X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let me go back to this.
Put away your projector. Put your projector away.
You know what I mean? But I say all that just to say, like you said, we go off of that first look, that first judge a book by its cover. Right now, we just read the intro to this lady's story. We didn't even get the whole story. You know what I mean? Right now, off the intro, I was just like, I don't know if I want any more of this book, or I need to know everything. We all said it, we're like, we need to know more about her. We know about her, the baby daddy, about the villain in the corner with the one candle, looking like he in Castlevania. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, sir? But
I definitely thought that she definitely thought that he was gonna say something different, which I don't understand because even she said that she's a fan of his show. So you know how he is.
Yes.
You know how he is. And although he's rude, I'll say this, he's rude to everyone because I saw some other clips and
And there's a fine line between rude and actually just being like completely honest. And he kept hopping back and forth on that.
I mean, he could have been trying to fill the honesty. Howard Stern project.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying he could have been trying, because people back in the day, I was listening to Howard Stern when I should not have, way back in the day. People gave him that same thing of, oh, you're so crass and oh, you're so filthy. But he used it, he's like, I want to put this kind of narrative out there. That way I can have on whomever I want to have on. So if I want to have, a porn star one day and a CEO the next day, you really can't say anything to me because you know who I am. I'm the same with everybody.
Man,
I don't know this gentleman.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't know this guy, but maybe because Howard is up there in age, he might not be doing stuff the way he used to. There are a lot of people, especially of, our lineage, we're filling in those voids because we have that, oh, there's space, okay, screw it, I'm gonna do it. If no one else is ballsy enough to jump in this medium because it's too hard, it's too scary, oh, there's backlash. I've been hated since I was 9 years old. I don't care about being a grown man and someone saying, oh, I'm gonna send you hate mail. I don't care. I'm getting views. I don't care. So he might be trying to fill that void. So it would make sense if that's the narrative he's trying to put out there of, oh, I'm a shill and everybody hate me, but at the same time I say something insightful, so you want to tune into next week.
Yeah, and Jen, you definitely said it too. She said she was a fan. She says she follows him. She knows how he is. So when you see people out here, like I think it's on Reddit, but where it's like roast me, and then they get hurt because people are like, okay, I'm going to roast you. You knew what you were getting into before you even finished your picture. So same thing with her. Lady, you're beautiful, but you knew what you were going to get into. And then you just added fuel to the fire when you gave yourself such a low rating. What more was he supposed to do with that? Be like, oh no, honey, no, you're definitely not that. No, you knew how he was. He was going to rip you to shreds, and you gave him the exact ammo he needed to do it. So,
and you know what? If she felt like a 5, then she felt like a 5. No shade to her or anybody else who feels like that. But I'm going to challenge you. Work on yourself until you feel like more.
I don't think.
And I don't mean work on yourself like go pay a doctor. I mean, get your mental together so you don't run around here feeling like a 5, honey.
But also, just because you go to therapy does not mean you're crazy. I hate of that. Yeah. What's the word? Association.
Yeah.
Therapy is literally just talking. It's not like they're giving you meds right off the bat.
There's a stigma behind it. It's always, if you go to therapy, you're insane. You need
or you're weak.
Exactly.
You can't fix yourself.
Perfect.
And I've noticed this definitely in people of color community. If you say I'm going to therapy, like, oh, like you said, you're weak. Oh, you must be crazy. Oh, like, nah, you need to go too. Like, we all should be going. We can take turns every week. We all just go on a different date. You know what I mean? And even this is coming from me, come from a Black family. Grandparents, aunties, you just need to brush that off. That you'll be fine, boo boo boo. And then you realize people are in deep depression. People are out here.
You even get that don't be telling our business.
Right. Yeah, don't tell family business outside the house.
Telling our business.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell the business. You know why? Because it has been told for 7, 8, 9, 10 generations that's just been passed down. I need to stop it where I can stop it. And me getting myself better should not make you angry. Like,
oh my God. Can I also just say, because I hear this so much, therapy is not just for adults. Kids go through shit too. Kids go through a lot of shit.
Which I went to it when I was a kid. Like, it would have been transitioning from an all-white school where I was one of 3 Black people.
We made it
to a cultural
statistical anomaly.
That's just from elementary school to junior high. That little bit, if I had therapy then or knowing I was being, it would change my life. Like, I understand. Like, come on.
Like, just because they're not working or have to pay bills or have like baby mama or daddy problems doesn't mean that they're not going through stuff. Kids are bullied. Kids commit suicide left and right nowadays. It's really sad and tragic.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have nobody to talk to about
what
they're going through.
Exactly.
I agree with you, Fizz. Like, I was called a monkey before I was in double digits. So all that kind of wild stuff, if you don't get to a place of separation between this is the trauma versus this is who I am, you'll mix them together and you'll get yourself stuck in a cycle. And quick PSA to everyone, especially men, sex therapists are not a bad thing. If you find a therapist, it doesn't mean you're less of a man. It's not a bad thing. Don't shun, they do sex stuff. No, you're okay. No one's gonna do anything to your butt. It's okay.
Oh my God, that. Well, that's a
all
whole
the-
different
Man,
category.
I had that. So I
Different
had
show.
that class last year, and I learned so much stuff.
I'm telling you right now, y'all know what I be talking about on Twitch sometimes. We will get into that. That'll probably be another trend talk or something because
boy.
it's a whole thing.
Later.
We're gonna be on here for like 7 hours talking about it.
We'll talk about
But
stuff later.
everything everybody here said is very, very true. And I'm not invalidating nobody here. Okay. Everybody has been told something, has maybe told somebody something, who knows? And you didn't even realize it that you said something negative and you're like, oh, shoot, shouldn't have said that. But this is why I wanted to bring up this video to talk about her, but also to talk about him and how we perceived it and how we just even watching that video definitely changed me. I was like, ooh, okay, I need to change how I think about myself, or I need to change how I am acting out, I guess. So when you look at my cover of my book, you're not just like, oh, she's just an Instagram thought. Oh, she's just a girl that does memes all day. You know what I mean? I want you to know that there's more to this, and to everybody else here on the screen or out there listening. But I want my ratings before we go. Y'all ain't gonna get out. So we gonna start. We're gonna go with Sims at a 1 out of 10, and you can't pick 7 or below. That's like no. Overall, you as a person, how would you rate yourself?
Starting.
Sims.
Oh, you said me. My bad.
He's all like,
Sims. Who's Sims? I don't know him.
Overall, whole package, 8.
My man.
I take it. Fizz.
Just to get know of us a little bit more, you need to join the Discord. So that's how you can know people. But I'm gonna go with a 9 and always needs improvement.
Perfect. Nameless.
I agree with my boy Fizz. I'm gonna say a 9 in progress, working for a 10.
Okay. Waves, Curly Waves.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Y'all are terrible. Why everybody get so close?
Because Boston's only a 3-hour drive for me. Let's go.
Hey, Fizz, I'll pick you up, man.
Shut up. In all seriousness, I honestly give myself like an 8, 8.5.
Woo! Okay. All right.
Okay.
Acceptable.
Y'all heard, first of all, before we even go to Jiggly,
-5.
Y'all heard it. She said 8.5. Okay. I don't want to hear nobody out there in Twitch land, Discord land, Facebook, Instagram say anything, because I will find you. Okay. I'm FBI. Y'all don't know this. I'm FBI. Why do you think I know all this stuff? Okay.
Jen, I actually knows where I live too now.
I do. So if y'all want to come swoop me up in Arizona, we can make a trip. I'll meet y'all halfway. But Jiggly, what do you give yourself?
Take gas.
What do I give myself? I give myself an 8. As somebody who struggled through, some self-esteem issues, I feel like I am definitely in a space where I feel comfortable about myself and what I look like. And I have an amazing personality, but I think I still have some room. I still have some work to do. Yeah.
Animaniacs.
I like it.
Say what?
I like it.
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs.
Hey, Daisy.
Dot.
Oh, if it has some
Dot,
water,
Dot look a little different. Dot look like Dot is here.
Oh, she pulled out the Cleo.
She said,
I did. You know why? Because I had dreadlocks. I had dreadlocks for years, and I cut them off. And when I cut them off, that was the first time I ever thought I was pretty.
We all gonna do it.
You honestly have the head and face for like.
Yes, you have the head shape for it.
Just stay like that.
So
just
little.
stay.
My head is so little.
Just stay like that.
I love it.
Honestly.
Also, thank you for doing that. I can't because I got like the clips and everything in this. So I do that. I just
I told you your girl was wearing a hat because she's not glued.
yeah.
Nah, but for real,
I'm
stay like that. You have it looks great.
I'm not gonna
Stay
say
like
like
that.
You keep it the way. Yes, 100%. I'm not gonna.
You do this to your hair.
I'm gonna need Fizz to not look like a crackhead right now.
Wow.
No, Fizz get ready to say, "You're not cute. You look dusty. Your hair is uneven."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get you 3,000. I can dig it.
I love it. I love it no matter what. Straight, curly, I'm here for it.
I got
for
you.
me,
Give it up.
I'm gonna do my common B. Hold up.
Hey.
Okay, John B. I personally like to give myself an 8, like overall, but I think my personality bumps me up to at least a 9. Now
You a dime plus 99.
Bars.
And it's a shame you don't know what you're worth.
I'm 5'2" or 5'2", we'll never know. But I'm gonna say what my daughter always says: you can never give yourself a 10 because nobody's perfect.
Go ahead.
Did I tell you when she told me that? I was like, oh.
Go ahead, Chibi Trin.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, little one.
I'm like, well, I think you're a 10. She's like, I'm not, Mom, I'm a 9. I'm like, okay.
She said, relax.
Your breaks.
But I wanted to say, with all honesty and all my heart, you guys, this was an amazing, amazing episode. I love it. Love Trin Talks. Love Girls Can Geek. I love all you guys here. If you want to go ahead with the same rotation of who is in the building before we go, we'll start with Jiggly and work our way down.
Yo, I'm Jigglypuff _ Jigglypuff X3 on IG.
Perfect. Next.
Oh, is it me? Because I forgot already.
Yes,
I am Jen, aka Curly Waves. Well, _ Curly Waves on IG, and it's a whole thing. Look for me on Twitch, maybe Miss Curly Waves.
Yay! All right, next.
I am Lord Nameless. You can find me on Twitch, coming soon. Instagram at Lord Nameless, and you can also find me in the Discord, Girls Can Geek.
Join us.
It's a good time.
Join us, party. Join us.
Oh, it's on me?
Yeah.
Shango.Simms on Instagram, Shango Simms on Twitter and TikTok, and I'll also be in the Discord. I pop up randomly, so I will appear again.
And last but not least,
name is Al Fizz, and this is my biz. Al Fizz on here, Al Fizz on the Discord, and come join. Come have a good time. Come laugh. Come cry. Come get Lord Nameless morning wake up calls.
Y'all, Lord Nameless wake up calls are the best. When you wake up and you read that, you feel like, all right, I am the winner of life. I can do anything today. Be inspirational as fuck.
Yes.
Oh, you guys gonna make me throw up.
Yeah, I built a shed in the backyard because of your inspiration. I was like, yo, I can do anything. I made a shed. I did the roof. I waterproofed
the she shed.
I built the she shed. And
But as you guys can see here, we're literally one big happy family. Once again, my name is SD Trinity. The Girls Can Geek. Go to our Instagram at Girls Can Geek. Click the link in the bio. It'll take you to our Discord. Come join us. We have like 20 different rooms with everything from books to your nasties out there, to just general talk, the good mornings, the inspirations. We're all here for you guys. Definitely come join. I want to say thank you again to everybody. This was amazing. I hope you all have a great day. And once again, you guys are listening to Girls Can Geek. Bye, you guys. Love you.
It just felt natural.